Oh. All right, our next guest needs no introduction, but we're going to introduce him anyway because that's what we do. Michael Waltrip has won the Daytona 500 a couple times. He owns Michael Waltrip Racing. He's one of the most well-known drivers in the United States, really one of the most well-known business owners now in the United States because NASCAR is about as big a business as you can get. Michael Waltrip, our special guest here on Fox Business, and we're happy to have you. Thanks for coming in.
That was quite an introduction I didn't need, right?
I know. I had to do it, even though everybody knows you out there from the myriad of commercials. And actually, I'm happy to see you're still doing commercials because a lot of talk with the economy that NASCAR, all the cars were going to be empty. There'd be no name on a hood. We'd have a bunch of gray cars driving around the 500. Looks like business is still holding up.
I think NASCAR has survived these tough economic times as good as any sport could have hoped to. We at Michael Waltrip Racing have been able to sign all of our sponsors back. We're ready to race in 210 at the same level we did in 09 and 08. Won our first race last year as a car owner. That was a real honor, and proud that we won the Coca-Cola 600. Coke's one of my sponsors. So we've got a lot of good things happening in 010 for our team, and looking forward to the challenges that NASCAR presents for us.
But you got to say that again, Michael. You have 100% renewal of your sponsors and then added some. How did you do that? Like, take us through the process, because you went through some tough times initially where you lost some of your big sponsors, like a Domino's.
Well, the Domino's was a partner since 04, and that's the key. I treat my sponsors as total partners. We're friends. In most cases, I know the president, CEOs of the companies, and we can talk about how we're going to use that race car to sell more of their products. Napa Auto Parts is entering their 10th year as sponsor of my car. I'm very proud of the relationship there, and we've built relationships that have allowed us to go through the bit of the tough times we did in 07 when we started our team, and then 08 we got it stabilized. 09 was tremendous growth, tremendous results on the track, and we were beginning now to be able to pay those friends and those sponsors back by getting a lot of TV time and doing some good things on the track for them.
Are they driving harder bargains?
Everybody, I think, when you get tougher when things are hard, obviously, and we've understood how to be smarter. I liken the fact that I have to condition myself physically to go race the car, and we've been conditioning ourselves on the business side, on the financial side, to make sure we could survive these times, and I think it'll allow us to go forward smarter. I hate to say we were spending money irresponsibly before, but we certainly are going to be more conscious as we go forward of how we're going to spend those dollars. Yes, people are trying to find the best bargain they can get across the sport. When I first started in NASCAR 25 years ago, a sponsor sponsored a car, and they sponsored it for the whole year, and that's the way it was. Now you have guys that are just companies that are just sponsoring a race here, a race there, trying to figure out how to maximize their dollars the best. And we at Michael Waltrip Racing, we're into that. Whatever they want to do, if they want to be a partner with us, then we want to have them on our cars.
At a minimum, what does it cost to have a team in NASCAR?
Oh, I think our budget is somewhere north of $80 million to race in 2010. So when we started the team, obviously you have to have a lot of intellectual property. The folks you hire are very talented, smart folks. We built a huge building in North Carolina just outside of Charlotte that houses our race cars. Lots of equipment, obviously, to tune those cars. So the cool thing is I can do that. I can say, I want to go race the Daytona 500 against those guys, and I can build me a car and show up in Daytona. I can't go play the Yankees. I can't play the Cowboys, but by gosh, I can go race the Daytona 500. And NASCAR is a true free enterprise, and I'm proud that we were able to establish ourselves in the field.
You have some big names behind you, too. I mean, with Aaron's and Napa and Clorox, big companies. If you look back, let's say the last 15 cars in the field, a lot of those teams are really struggling. Do you see NASCAR needing to, I know that with the car tomorrow they're working on a spec car, which maybe you love or hate, but do we need more parity so that the guys, that are qualifying have a chance?
Well, I think it's more competitive today than it's ever been. When you talk about the last 10 or 15...
Jimmy Johnson haters might disagree with that.
Well,
4 in a row.
Let me tell you a little story. Carl Edwards won 9 races in 08, and he didn't win any in 09. Couldn't win. I mean, the guy that they were favored to win the championship, I didn't find that to be totally unusual. That's how tough this business is. I find what Jimmy Johnson has done 4 times in a row amazing. So take Jimmy Johnson out of the mix and look at the whole sport, and we have more lead changes. We have more winners. We have more competitive in the points from top to bottom. So the sport is healthy. There's a lot of cars that can line up and win the Daytona 500 come February the 14th on Fox, and I'm one of those.
Are they going to let you race, though, at Daytona this year? Larger restrictor plates are going to let you bump draft on the bigger tracks?
No,
What do you make of that?
I don't know if y'all watched Daytona and Talladega last year, but it seemed like to me on the last lap we were all turning over, crashing.
It was a funeral procession. It was just a line of cars the whole race until the end.
The clock was ticking, though. And if you're a race car driver, you're thinking, ooh, there's another lap. The end's coming, and it's getting ready to get crazy. So we are racing with gloves off at Daytona and Talladega, and you're going to see an amazing race. The bigger restrictor plate is going to be fun for Daytona, because Daytona is a real track where you have to handle in the turns. Your car doesn't just, it's not just a given, it's going to go around those corners. So a lot of strategy comes into play in Daytona. And I won it a couple times.
We mentioned that in the intro. You didn't need
Just
it.
twice.
That was awesome when I heard you say all that.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm rooting for. I'm a big Marcos
did it.
Ambrose fan too. I like the Australian V8 Supercar Series. I'm a road course guy, so good luck to Marcos.
Marcos and I went to Dubai and raced the 24 Hours of Dubai a couple
Thanks
weeks
for the
ago.
invite.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
If I'd known your credentials, I could have got you in.
I was there a month ago. We could have met up. Michael Waltrip. We'll talk after in the commercial break, Mike.